this position as against that of Dstv. I want to. There's a concept that has come up. They said there's a free market concept. What does that dictate? That's just when you say you are operating a free market concept. Does that mean that anybody who is operating with this market can do as they please, set as high prices as they feel?
Mhm. Well, so now let me greet your listeners and viewers as well. Well, as we speak here, we have used the concept of free market to describe the fact that government does not intervene in how you set your prices and what have you. But in reality, there is no free market because mostly, almost every country intervenes in pricing and what have you in many forms. But we'll assume that what we are operating and seeing is free market. And nonetheless, we have in recent times seen huge corporations all over the world having issues with government. We can cite the issue of TikTok in the US and so many others that had come up. As much as there is free markets, um, countries have taken steps to protect their currency, their economy from such huge corporations that their activities seems to border on issues of economy, stability, and sometimes threats to national security and what have you. And therefore, really, there is nothing like free economy, and we should put that aside. As much as there is free markets, a free economy where you can walk in and do your legitimate business, that is permissible by the laws. You authorities have also taken steps to safeguard their interests and the interests of the people. So we are not seeing anything different from what has happened in many countries. And I think that the minister even cited what happened in Nigeria with that same campaign.
I see. Very interesting. Now, having said that, there are people who hold many different positions on whether or not the minister should have gone in this manner to use the Government Accountability Forum to perhaps send a caution to DSTV, asking them to reduce their prices, giving them a timeline or else he will take regulatory action. That this approach in itself, some people find problematic. Do you agree?
Again, it is difficult to say I either agree or not. We do not have a formula in terms of such interventions. And I am not suggesting that what the minister has done um, is, is anything close to what Trump is doing in the U.S. But nonetheless, um, the fact of the matter is any forum is appropriate once it is about protection of the people's interest.
Any forum is appropriate once it's about the protection of the people's interest.
Yes.
But I'm sure you've seen both the position of DSTV. In fact, people have been circulating their 2023 positions. They are circulating their current position. In fact, they say they're still talking about a challenging microeconomic environment. And the position they've held from 2023 to now, is it consistent for you?
Well, aspects of which I can understand that they have not even explained their position well. And there are aspects that are just not attainable. Now, if you tell me that the rate, and perhaps I should make this clear to everyone, that the fact that, for instance, assuming, and I don't want to use any company in Ghana, so assuming, and for just the purpose of this analysis, I say that McDonald's is in Ghana. McDonald's sells 3 pieces of chicken in the U.S. for, let's say, $1. But when McDonald's is selling the same 3 pieces of chicken in Ghana, he will sell it beyond or far more than the $1. And that is no wrong, because as much as we have an exchange rate published by the DOT and what is going on in the forex market as well, there is the real effective rate of the currency. And that most of the time is a bit higher than what is being put out there. So yes, there is a possibility that you may have your real and effective rate a bit higher, what we call the REER. But that in no means would justify the issue at hand today. Now, if we were talking about 5% appreciation, maybe yes. But we are talking about 30% appreciation of the cedi. We are looking at companies like Amazon, whom, if we are buying from their sites, meant that we are paying less with the banks, but a bit more than the rates out there. So certainly there is an issue. What I thought Dstv could say is that if we have used the inflation and other things to adjust, for instance, expenditure locally, like salaries, and today the currency has appreciated, that in no way would also suggest that we should reduce salaries, which is also a cost. But what percentage of those costs actually influence their pricing? They took an opportunity and advantage of how the currency depreciated in the past, between 2022 and 2023, and had the adjustment through. Now, we have seen a rollback, and a significant rollback for that matter. So if you cannot reduce at the same rate you did, there is no justification to say that the Ghanaian people do not deserve 10% or 12% decrease in the rates. And therefore, that is where I believe the minister is right to reject their proposal, because their proposal in itself gives them out to say that I will retain the money here and not transfer. What it means is that you are making more than you should have made. your formula for determining pricing is certainly making more, charging more from the Ghanaian, and you are making excess, and you are asking only to have that money not repatriated, but be kept here. Kept here for what? You know? And so unless DSTV is going to say that that is not a proposal to the minister, then probably I am wrong. But if that was their proposal to the minister, to be allowed to keep in the excess money they are making by overcharging the Ghanaian, then certainly the minister is right, and their position cannot be acceptable.
So for you, what will be the best, so a compromise position for both sides? What should it be?
Well, I believe that there should be a three-way solution. For instance, we can call back the last 5 years financial statement of DSTV, and I think the minister should do that and analyze what has been the bottom line over these 5 years, and also analyze their management account as of today, and also to understand their challenges and what have you. I don't think that the conversation should be plainly about what you did the last time and what has happened today and what we should go deeper with such corporations here in Ghana, operating here in Ghana, to the extent that they should offer us an opportunity to set a baseline for most of such companies or similar companies operating here. And I believe that in the communication sector, the minister has a lot to do within that area. I would not mention a lot of the companies, but indirectly, they put a lot of charges on us in the telecom industry. That probably it is just a matter of taking too much from us. And therefore, when that is done, and we have understand their issues, for instance, it could be an issue of they not making enough profit over the years, and they not able to pay their shareholders dividend enough, and they would want to make more to pay themselves a good gratification in terms of the members of the company. And therefore, they find this period as an opportunity to do that. I mean, if that is the case, let them make those cases, and let us all find out how best we can meet at the middle point. But let us not have a very simplistic conversation on that. And I assume that it's certainly not going to be a very simplistic conversation. An honest conversation should come up with figures that will support their position, and then the minister should also come up with a position that will support his responsibility he has with the Ghanaian people to protect them as well. And then we find a middle line, bring relief to the nation by not moving out currency, and also bring relief to the company to have a good gratification, and also bring a relief to the Ghanaian by having some significant reduction in terms of what they pay to DSTV.
And clearly, from examining their statement as at 2023 and looking at the current macroeconomic situation, do you think the customers of DSTV deserve a relief when it comes to prices?
Certainly, I do believe that DSTV should be more magnanimous, should respect their relationship with the Ghanaian customers, and also to do something about the pricing in their own interest. As we speak, a lot of Ghanaians are not using DSTV. That is the truth. A lot of Ghanaians are buying from Nigeria. Most of the DSTV you see around are not DSTV Ghana. It is DSTV Nigeria, and I know they are aware of that. And it is only fair for them to be competitive enough. So yes, as much as the Ghanaian deserve a relief, it is in their own interest also to compete. And at least, because they pay taxes in Ghana, they should be able to be the ones providing the service for the Ghanaian people. So yes, it is as much as in their interest to do a price reduction in the near future. It is in their own interest.
Nii, thank you. Thank you for speaking to us.
You're welcome.
That's Nii Yarboi Annan. SM, you have that price comparison. The very, very interesting thing is, like he said, DSTV Ghana knows that there are many Ghanaians who are customers of DSTV Nigeria, which is quite an interesting one. Because ultimately what that means is that people are paying money to a company based in Nigeria for a service for which they will never be taxed. So they are making revenue for which they will never pay taxes to the government of Ghana. And those customers are also escaping the net of DSTV Ghana. So they are not customers of DSTV Ghana. Ordinarily, they wish to be customers of DSTV Ghana, but the prices are too high for them. So instead of that, they will go around and find a way of connecting to DSTV Nigeria. Okay. So what that means is that it's even in the interest of the DSTV, if they want to attract more customers, to reduce these prices and get more people to come on board. The prices are high. In fact, SM, just go through the comparison the minister put.
Ghana.
Yeah, they operate in
Nigeria,
DSTV,
Liberia,
yeah, they are there. Yes.
Botswana, Eswatini, and then South Africa.
Okay.
Now,
Eswatini is where the king has many wives. Okay. They said he has to marry a new one that he's delaying.
Yeah, as a watch check. Okay.
Check.
We have population, Ghana, they 34.5 million. Nigeria, 233. Liberia, 5.6 million. Angola, 37.9 million. Botswana, 2.5 million. Eswatini, 1.3 million. And then South Africa, 64 million.
Okay.
Now, yeah, premium, no? Ghana, $82.40.
82.
Yes.
$0.40. Okay.
Nigeria, premium no. Ghana ha $82.40 no. Nigeria there no, $29.
Yeah.
$29.
Way lower.
Yes.
Okay.
Liberia, $61.
Okay, theirs is also as close to ours.
$61.
Okay.
And Angola, $33.
33, close to Nigeria. What's the population of Angola?
Angola 37.9 million.
What's our population currently?
34.5 million.
Are they sure? Have they counted everybody? Okay, so not when it comes to that. So if Angola is doing $33, and they are doing 37.9, we are doing 34.1.
34.5.
Okay, continue.
Okay, the Angola $33, Botswana $61.
61. And
61.
their population is what?
2.5 million.
They are on the same rate as which other? Because you mentioned
the same Liberia.
Liberia.
Our population here 5.6 million.
Okay, continue.
Then Eswatini $52.
$52 for Eswatini.
South Africa $51.
Okay.
Yeah, we almost premium no.
Okay, okay. So the lowest rates are being paid by Nigeria and Angola.
Yes, $29 for Nigeria, and then Angola $33.
Eswatini certainly has a lower population than ours.
Yes.
And they are doing $61.
Yes.
So we are the ones who
they
are
doing
paying
$51.
51.
Sorry, $52.
Eswatini.
$52.
They are doing $52.
With
okay.
1.3 million.
Okay, so $61 is for which two countries?
61
Liberia,
for Botswana, and then Liberia.
Okay, so those are the ones that are close to us.
Yes.
We are paying $82.40.
Yes.
Yes. Wow.
Premium, no.
That's the premium that we are being. Okay, that's premium. I guess when we get into the other bouquets that are below that, it will even be worse. Yeah. So it's interesting because the DSTV's explanation, when you say that challenging microeconomic environment, what do you mean by that? Because everybody admits that things have improved to a large extent. If you are a company that is, because you are an external company, you will say, oh, maybe at some point I need to repatriate dollars, or I work with dollars. Even if you do the calculation now, it doesn't make sense for you to keep these high rates. The explanation does not add up. Nancy?
Senator?
Yes. Interesting. Nowadays, he writes on virtually everything. Professor Kuku Asari is in the U.S., lives in the U.S. I don't know if he's in Ghana currently. He's popularly known as Kuku Asari, and that's his, the Facebook handle he uses. He's been speaking. He's a lawyer. He's a lawyer and also a professor of law in the U.S. What does he have to say?
You know, he's been calling himself Google. So Google...
I don't even understand what...
Okay, so dear Multi-Choice Ghana, Google read your 3rd August 2025 media statement on DSTV pricing in Ghana with keen interest. Okay. Whilst you expressed concern over the Honorable Minister's comments, your response glaringly step-sides the most crucial issue he raised, the comparative data showing that DSTV subscription fees are disproportionately higher in Ghana than in several other African countries.
Okay.
As a paying customer, Google expected your response to engage the minister's data directly. Instead, your letter offers generic justification about macroeconomic conditions and your commitment to competitive pricing. Yet the minister's analysis shows clearly that Ghanaians are paying more for the same or even fewer channels than consumers in countries with similar or worse macroeconomic conditions. That demands a real explanation. We don't need alternative engagements avenues. We need alternative pricing models that are transparent, fair, and friendly to Ghanaian consumers. So Google asks, 1. Why are DSTV prices in Ghana higher than in countries like Nigeria, Kenya, and South Africa when adjusted for exchange rates and purchasing power parity? 2. Are Ghana's macroeconomic conditions truly worse than in those countries? If so, please provide comparative metrics to justify your claim. Okay. And 3. What exactly is the cost structure of your Ghana operations? How much of the pricing is driven by satellite costs, taxes, content licensing, or profit margins. How does this differ from your cost structure in other African markets? As a long-standing customer, Gogo appreciates your decades of service in Ghana, but transparency and fairness must be part of that relationship. The minister raised valid concerns, and instead of addressing them with data, you issued a defensive statement that assumes Ghanaians will accept vague reassurances. We will not. If you truly value constructive engagement, then let it begin with full disclosure of your pricing model and how it compares across the continent. And so that's what he wrote.
Very interesting position he's taken. In fact, if you listen to the statement that was issued by Dstv, they were skirting the issues. But we'll speak to Dr. Justice Salifu shortly. He's an organization management expert. But before we do that, if you're looking for sound, secure, and competitive banking products to invest your money, the Agricultural Development Bank is the right place to be. At ADB, we offer you a bouquet of investment products such as Mofra account for your kids, student save account, personal savings account, personal investment plus, call account, business investment plus, and more. Yes, they offer you a bouquet of investment products, not the DSTV, such as Mofra account for your kids, student save account, personal savings account, personal investment plus, call account, business investment plus, and more. Visit any of our 89 branches across the country to sign on to any investment products of your choice and enjoy competitive interest. For further inquiries, please call 0302 210 210. ADB Beyond Banking. Well, we're joined on the line by Dr. Justice Salifu. Doc spent a significant amount of time in the U.S. Very interesting things happening in the U.S.